A viral roadside video, public outrage, and a police investigation. Tonight on our news, former Commissioner Paul Rolle speaks on a recent bribery claim, saying the incident is unfortunate, but not representative of the entire force. This as a Defense Force Marine denied bail and headed back to court. He and a co-accused face multiple charges as prosecutors detail a string of armed robberies across New Providence. And with ratifications in full swing for major parties, a third political force making its move. Coalition of Independents says it's close to fielding candidates in every constituency. Then in our news at 7:30, police confirm a police-involved shooting after a man allegedly opened fire during an altercation, while investigators say they're still trying to locate the wounded suspect. Our news, live at 7, starts right now.
Law enforcement officers have been...
We're about to get to that story in just a bit, but welcome to our news live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Candido Knowles. A viral video now under investigation appearing to show a police officer attempting to solicit a bribe from a tourist during a roadside traffic stop is sparking widespread outrage and renewed concerns about policing standards. A former police commissioner calling the incident disturbing as Royal Bahamas Police Force moves to get answers. Rolle now serving as an international diplomat, telling Joshua Williams, who you saw just a moment ago, that while the video is unfortunate, he believes it does not reflect the values of the majority of officers serving in the force.
Law enforcement officers have been under the spotlight lately for the wrong reasons. One of them, a police officer caught in the center of an alleged bribery scandal in a 3-minute video gone viral on TikTok. The Royal Bahamas Police Force has since launched an investigation into the clip, which appears to show a police officer attempting to solicit a bribe from a tourist during a roadside traffic stop, allegedly to avoid issuing a ticket. Former Police Commissioner Paul Rolle says the incident shouldn't cast a dark cloud on the entire law enforcement agency.
Those allegations are in no way a reflection as to who the members of the police force are, but as police officers, they take an oath and are held to those oaths a little different from the ordinary citizen.
Earlier this week, National Security Minister Wayne Munro told reporters the officer seen in the video has not been on the force for long. But Rolle says whether he's new or a veteran, every officer receives a code of conduct.
Key areas of the regulations include professional conduct, use of force, appearance, fitness for duty, confidentiality, and handling of duty property, all under a framework of accountability, including formal discipline for misconduct.
As for how the matter should be handled, Rolle says that'll be determined by what's revealed in the force's investigation of the incident.
Those offenses that allegedly occur while an officer is off duty may be dealt with by a magistrate's court. Offenses allegedly committed by an officer during the course of duty are typically handled in the police tribunal. But now, if in any case, say if the matter amounts to a crime or is so egregious, the commissioner has the discretion to decide whether to place the officer before the magistrate's court or the police discipline tribunal.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks for that, Josh. Meanwhile, a Marine mechanic and a Royal Bahamas Defense Force Marine are behind bars accused in connection with a string of armed robberies this month. Marine Adrius Austin and Dion Burrows appeared before Chief Magistrate Roberto Reckley, charged with armed robbery and conspiracy to commit armed robbery. Burrows is also charged with attempted murder and possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition. Prosecutors allege on January 6th, the pair robbed Chance's Web Shop on East Street South, making off with $1,238. 10 days later, police say Burrows robbed Deshauna Rolle outside Cash and Go on Carmichael Road, taking $1,560, and allegedly shot her during the incident. On that same day, police allege Burrows was found in possession of a Sig-Sauer pistol and 5 rounds of ammunition. Neither man was required to enter a plea. Both were denied bail, and they're expected back in court on June 11th to receive voluntary bill of indictment papers, which will send the case straight to the Supreme Court. The Davis administration says new legislation passed in Parliament will help speed up humanitarian access, protect relief operations, and strengthen the Bahamas' international partnerships during times of crisis. Parliament last night passed an amendment to Bahamas Red Cross Society bill, updating the law that has been on the books since 1975. The amendment modernizes key sections of the Act, including its short title and core definitions, aimed at better aligning the organization with international humanitarian standards. The bill was seconded by Nassau Village Member of Parliament Jamal Strawn as government moves to remove barriers to humanitarian work and improve coordination during emergencies.
This is not about granting special favors to an elite few. This is about dismantling the practical impediments that can and have hindered our national capacity for rapid and effective humanitarian response. It's about empowering institutions, Madam Speaker, that serve all Bahamians without discrimination during our most vulnerable moments. It's about learning from our experiences, Madam Speaker, and proactively building a stronger, more resilient Bahamas for generations to come.
And there's been a lot of talk surrounding the upcoming general election this year and political parties ramping up their ratification efforts. Both Free National Movement and Progressive Liberal Party have drawn strong attention to their processes, holding mini-style rallies to announce candidates. In fact, the PLP expected to ratify more candidates in a matter of moments, while the Coalition of Independents is stepping up its push, aiming to have 41 candidates selected to represent their party nationwide. The leader says that the party is close to finalizing its full slate with plans to contest every seat in the country. Delvado Emmanuel has this.
I think there's a lot of hype, but no substance. I think they want the Bahamian people to forget their suffering by dancing and jumping up and partying. I think a lot of chickens are going to be killed in the coming months once election comes, because a lot of chicken and bear is going to be given out. But that's not going to save our country. Our country is in a desperate state, and we need to transform.
That's Coalition of Independents leader Lincoln Bean weighing in on the governing Progressive Liberal Party's nomination process, dismissing the party's public display as more show than solutions, as political parties accelerate their preparations ahead of the next general election. Bean says his party is nearly finished building out its candidate slate. The COI leader confirming the COI has already rolled out 37 candidates, with the remaining names expected to be announced soon.
Our candidates committee is vetting the final candidates. We already have 37 candidates that have been rolled out, and we're going to roll out the remaining 4 in short order.
Bean says the COI plans on running a candidate in every constituency, including the new St. James and Bimini and Berry Island seat. He says interviews are already underway, and ratification should start in the coming weeks, as more people show interest in getting on the ballot under the COI banner.
There were people who had told us from the beginning that if those seats are created, that they wanted to run. And so once that happened, we started getting people calling, showing interest in going in those seats.
And on the question of former NBA star Rick Fox, who's been openly discussing the possibility of entering politics, Bean says the COI has attempted to reach out.
We wanted to have a conversation with him to just see where his thinking was, where his head was, but he has not returned any of our messages, etc. So we don't know what he is thinking. We'll have conversations with anybody, but we wanted to see what his commitment would actually be to the Bahamas.
With the general election looming in a couple of months, Bean says he has no worries that the COI will be able to pick 41 quality candidates to contest seats across the country. Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvado Emmanuel.
All right, thanks so much for that, Delvado. And coming up in our news at 7:30, all eyes on Farrington Road tonight as the Progressive Liberal Party holds its ratification event at Gambler House. Hundreds of supporters lining up, turning out in strong numbers as the party moves to formalize its slate. Joshua Williams, he is on the ground right now, and we will certainly be checking in with him as he's tracking the developments and the atmosphere. And it's all coming up at the top of our news at 7:30. We'll check back in with you, Josh. We've got much more to get to tonight, but for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson, he is in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Gideon, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. What a difference a day makes. We had a lot of clouds yesterday. This evening now, we have just a few clouds, some high-level clouds actually moving across us from some thunderstorms. We'll show that in a short while, but much improved. Warmer conditions tonight, 75 degrees with a few clouds. The winds out of the east-southeast at 15 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 73. Temperatures right now around the Family of Islands. It's 71 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Marshall, Abaco, 72. Then we pick up warmer temperatures in Allenstown, Bimini, 76 there, 75s, Great Harbor, Key, the Berry Islands here in the capital, 77s in Nicholstown, North Andros, Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera, Central Bahamas, more 77s popping up in Kemps Bay, South Andros, Black Point, Exuma, Deadman's Key, Long Island, 76 in Georgetown, Exuma, Port Nelson, Rum Key, and in Coburn Townsend, Salvador, Arthurstown, Cat Island, 75. And into the Southeast Bahamas, 78s, Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Delectable Bay, Abrams Bay, 77, Matthewtown, Inagua, 78, and our good neighbors to the southeast, Tricks and Kickers Islands, we have a temperature right now of 78 degrees as well. Satellite and radar view. This is how things are setting up. Much improved conditions. That high pressure system from the Atlantic jutting across us, actually shifting the frontal boundary well to the north of us. Grand Bahama, Abaco getting in on some showers early this morning and this afternoon. Even had a couple of isolated thunderstorms popping up across Andros, bringing some high-level clouds across us. But this front will continue to pull out towards the east, or what's left of the front, the moisture associated with it, and that will pave the way for another nice weekend. We're looking for some warmer temperatures. Temperatures will get into the 80s, and the nighttime temperatures will be in the 70s. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. We'll take a look at your extended forecast when we come back.
Coming up in sports, the basketball court is underrated, Mangos volleyball hits the court, and a career night for the Ballhead CEO.
When I started in telecommunications in 1998, I was bored and overwhelmed because I said, this is the best kept secret in the world.
The Bahamas issued a call for a cable license.
So we were a startup, a brand new entity in a brand new country with a product that nobody really understood.
People didn't believe, it was difficult. Ingram said that will never happen.
They turned us down, and Phil decided, you know what? Well, we're gonna chart our own destiny, and we're gonna build our own network.
Once you started to hear about cable TV, it really didn't make any difference because your reality was, okay, we're gonna have one more channel, and you didn't think it was going to have such an impact until you got it.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, from the teams you already trust.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules. Leave early, obey road signs, wear seatbelts, invest in hands-free devices, and don't drink and drive. I'm Inspector Gerard Cum of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reminding you that road safety is no accident.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. So MLB Pipeline has expected time of arrivals for the top prospects to get to the majors. It's sped up for Sebastian Walcott. Now it says 2026. That's this year, so feel free to get excited. Walcott continues to make his mark on baseball's prospect landscape. In the latest edition of positional rankings this week, the Texas Rangers' top prospect checks in at number 6 among the top shortstops in all of minor league baseball. Walcott didn't just crack the top 10, he stood out in a big way, tied for the best power grade and arm strength grade among all players on the list.
The University of the Bahamas Mingos women's volleyball team returned to action with a full squad, but came up short against defending champions.
In New Providence Volleyball Association play, the Mingos fell to the Panthers in straight sets 25-10, 25-18, and 25-19. UB got off to a slow start in the opening set, falling into an early 12-4 hole and never recovered.
Dayton Albury's always been a bucket, pretty much for as long as any of us can remember. 1,000 points and counting for his D1 career, and now we're on the road to March. Albury reached a major personal milestone when he was honored by his New Mexico Lobos for scoring his 1,000th career point over the weekend. He continued to lead the Lobos on the court last night, and New Mexico extended its home dominance with an 83-74 win over Fresno State. Albury scored 11 in the win, and the Lobos improved to 15-4, 6-2 in Mountain West play. New Mexico had a 14-0 run early and maintained control throughout and led 36-23 at the half. The lead got up to as much as 20 in the second half, and they held on to close out the win. That'll do it for our sports. Stay tuned to our news at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the United Nations chief is setting priorities not just for this year, but for our times. And Trump threatens a 200% tariff on French wines. This as protesters demonstrate outside Trump Tower 1 year into his presidency. The story when our news returns.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules. Leave early, obey road signs, wear seatbelts, invest in hands-free devices, and don't drink and drive. I'm Inspector Gerard Cum of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reminding you that road safety is no accident.
It's more than a podcast. It's a movement. This is Breaking the Silence with Junior Clovis, where conversations we avoid finally have a place to breathe. Every story, every struggle, every breakthrough is brought to light, unfiltered and unspoken until now. Join us this Sunday at 2 p.m. as we confront the topics that matter, share real experiences, and change the conversation around mental health together. Watch, listen, break the silence.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having Business in a Box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Every week, one show drives the national conversation. On the Record. We challenge the issues, ask the tough questions, and dig deeper. We bring in the experts, the decision makers, and the voices that matter. Our discussions shape policy, influence change, and inform the public like no other. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. The conversations that shape the Bahamas start here, on the Record.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has laid out his global priorities, calling them essential not just for this year, but for our times. Speaking ahead of the selection of a new UN leader in 2027, Guterres said this was his final chance to set the agenda, warning the world is, quote, brimming with conflict, impunity, inequality, and unpredictability. He identified 3 core priorities: upholding the UN Charter, pursuing global peace, and building unity in a deeply divided world. Guterres closed with a stark appeal, saying the stakes could not be higher and the time could not be shorter.
Harmony is never accidental.
It requires deliberate policy, resources, and political courage. If we fail to put our common humanity first, we risk losing everything that makes us strong. The choice is clear: inclusion or isolation, renewal or decline. We must build united societies in a world of united nations.
Meanwhile, United States President Donald Trump threatening a sharp escalation in trade tensions with France, saying he would impose a 200% tariff on French wines and champagnes after French President Emmanuel Macron declined to join his proposed Board of Peace initiative. When asked about Macron's refusal, Trump told reporters the French leader would soon be out of office, adding that the tariffs would push him to join even if he chose not to. A source close to the French president confirmed Monday France has no plans to participate at this stage. Trump first announced the Board of Peace last September as part of his plan to end the war in Gaza, with recent invitations expanding the initiative to global conflicts. And protesters gathered across from Trump Tower in New York on Tuesday, marking 1 year since Donald Trump returned to office. Demonstrators held signs reading, "Impeach Trump, No Kings," and "Free America," with some calling for his removal and others warning of authoritarianism and attacks on democratic institutions. Several protesters described the president as erratic, with one raising the possibility of the 25th Amendment, while others said the walkout was a stand for democracy. Critics say the first year has deepened divisions at home and raised alarm over the direction of the country.
We're standing up for democracy. We're walking out of the workday to say no way to what's going on in America right now.
Removal from office, his whole cabinet, but that's a wish. No, that's not going to happen. Maybe the invocation of the 25th Amendment. I think he's become definitely more erratic, more insane, more out of control.
I just get Congress to step up. I don't understand why our Congress is just lying down like a little lapdog. It's really very sad.
And Bahamians and Kosovo citizens will now be able to travel more easily between both countries following the signing of a new visa-free travel agreement. Just over a month after the Bahamas came the 121st state to recognize Kosovo as a sovereign nation, the two countries have moved to deepen diplomatic ties. The agreement this week provides for mutual exemption of entry visa requirements for holders of diplomatic, official, and ordinary passports from both countries. The document was signed on Tuesday at the Bahamian Embassy in Washington, D.C. Signing on behalf of the Bahamas, Ambassador to the United States, Wendell Jones, while Ilir Dugoli signed for Kosovo. All right, the world recording its hottest years ever. And scientists say for the Bahamas and the wider Caribbean, the effects are already being felt from stronger hurricanes to rising seas and more extreme weather. Joshua Williams has more in tonight's Sustainability First.
Bahamas First, putting sustainability first for our people and our environment. What's first for you and the planet comes first for us.
2025 ranked among the 3 warmest on record globally, according to multiple international climate data sets, with scientists confirming the last 3 years are the hottest since record-keeping began more than a century ago. For small island nations like the Bahamas, this is more than a statistic. It means hotter days, warmer oceans, and an annual hurricane season that is becoming more dangerous and unpredictable. Scientists say 2025 marked the first 3-year period where average global temperatures rose above the 1.5 degrees Celsius over pre-industrial levels, a threshold long viewed as a major warning sign for severe and potentially irreversible impacts. Director of the European Union's Copernicus Climate Change Service, Carlo Bontempo, says the margin may be small, but the message is clear.
What the reality of the finding tell us is that the last 3 years together are the first 3 years above 1.5, meaning that we are getting closer and closer to the 1.5 degrees threshold defined by Paris, which, as we know, is an average over 20 years or so.
Scientists say those fractions of a degree matter, especially for regions like the Caribbean, where warmer oceans fuel stronger storms, heavier rainfall, and more coastal flooding. Last year, record ocean heat helped drive more intense weather events, including Hurricane Melissa in the Caribbean, a storm scientists say was made worse by climate change and a warning of what lies ahead. Global data also shows oceans stored more heat than ever before in 2025, a key driver of stronger hurricanes, rising sea levels, and flooding that threatens low-lying islands across the Bahamas and the region. And despite global pledges under the Paris Agreement, scientists warn the world is on track to permanently exceed the 1.5-degree limit within this decade, shifting the focus from prevention to adaptation. Reporting for Our News and reminding you to put sustainability first, I'm Joshua Williams.
Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was January 22nd. Then in our news at 7:30, claims of unpaid wages, questions about benefits, and a strong denial from National Insurance Board. What officials are saying about the situation surrounding Grand Lucayan employees. And a major investment in Grand Bahama as AML Foods breaking ground on a $10.3 million distribution center in Freeport. What company leaders say this means for the island when our news returns.
Think you know domestic violence? Think again. It is not just physical, emotional, financial, or sexual abuse, and it doesn't discriminate. If you feel intimidated, harassed, or manipulated, you're not alone. The Bahamas Crisis Center and the Domestic Violence Task Force are here. I am Sergeant 3992 Tamika Neely. Let's break the silence on domestic violence. Let's create safer communities.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having Business in a Box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Every year, car theft in the Bahamas rises. Thieves are getting smarter and faster. Is your car a target? Compact vehicles are at risk. Don't become a victim. Simple steps can make all the difference. Lock your car. Invest in anti-theft devices. Park smart. Protect yourself. Stay alert. I am PC 4392 Trayshawn Ferguson. Stay vigilant. Report suspicious activity. And let's create safer communities together.
On this day in Bahamian history in 1952, the People's Penny Savings Bank Limited opened its doors, founded by 21 visionaries led by A. Leon McKinney. Their goal was to make banking accessible to everyone with accounts starting at just 1 penny. And in 1979, Sir Milo Butler passed away at 73, known for tossing an hourglass during Black Tuesday in 1965. He became the Bahamas' first Governor General in 1973. His legacy lives on through Milo B. Butler and Sons Limited, his image on the $20 bill, and a bronze bust in Rawson Square unveiled in 1986. To learn more about the events that shaped the day that was January 22nd, head over to ournews.bs. Well, that's going to do it for us in News at 7. Up now is Italia Hall, or up next is Italia Hall at 7:30. But first, it's time now for Thursday's The New Friday with entertainment correspondent Danielle Miller. As we know by now, she is somewhere on the island getting the weekend started. But Denny, it looks like you're not too far from here. Denny?
Hey, Ken, I am right across the street. I am getting something to eat before I go home, because that's what I into this weekend, being home. We have a long year ahead of us, so any chance I get to stay home, I am going to do that. And you can tell I ain't into nothing because I'm wearing my company jacket, logo and all. But don't worry, I still have your entertainment news coming up in our 7:30 p.m. broadcast with Italia Hall, and we are talking creative business. All right, guys and gals, you know the drill. Until next weekend, deuces. Back to you in studio.
All right, deuces, Denny.
Denny's relaxing this weekend.
Listen, but I also saw her piece earlier today on intellectual property. So if you are in the entertainment industry, know anybody in the local entertainment industry, be sure and stay tuned for that story. Yeah.
All right, we'll stay tuned to our news on Thursdays to see more escapades like that one with our Daniel Miller. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on our news at 7:30, the Progressive Liberal Party is taking another step towards finalizing its slate of candidates, hosting a ratification event at their party headquarters tonight. Our Joshua Williams is live outside the PLP headquarters with the latest. Also, a former police officer convicted of plotting the murder of his love rival will have to wait longer to learn his sentence. Plus, the National Insurance Board is disputing recent media reports involving employees of the Grand Lucayan Resort, saying its records show no unemployment benefit claims were submitted, processed, or denied. And later, AML Foods Limited has officially broken ground on a new $10.3 million distribution center in Freeport, a project company leaders say underscores their long-term commitment to Grand Bahama. The story when our news at 7:30 returns.
Notes here, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure and hit that follow button if you want to see more stories like this. Be sure and follow all of the R News social media pages. And hey, don't forget, turn on your notifications so you never miss out on top stories from the team you already trust.
Tired of weak, over-the-counter bug sprays? Step up your pest control game with professional-grade products from the Struckham Shop. From powerful insecticides to trusted gel baits and termiticides, we supply the same products used by Struckham Commercial Pest Services, now available for DIY homeowners and small pest control pros. Whether you're protecting your home or building your business, get the edge with the Struckham Shop.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that runny nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set them all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set them all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Setamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Welcome to our news. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. First tonight, the political temperature is rising and election season is officially underway. Tonight, all eyes are on the Progressive Liberal Party as it moves one step closer to finalizing its slate of candidates. This evening, the PLP hosting a ratification event at its headquarters at Gambler House. The nomination process intensified earlier this week, with the party conducting interviews Tuesday night. PLP Chairman Fred Mitchell telling our news approximately 14 names are expected to advance to the final stage of consideration. Well, our Joshua Williams is standing by live tonight outside Gambler House for the ratification event. Josh, what can you tell us? I see lots of people.
Good evening, Natalia. Excitement certainly in the air here at the PLP headquarters in Farrington Road. As you can see behind me and perhaps here, the crowd is absolutely swelling. Motorcades are still rolling in as the evening's processions are about to start in just a bit. And right now there's a meeting that's going on inside. We expect that meeting to wrap up soon, and then the main program will begin. And tonight we expect to hear familiar names such as Clay Sweeting from Central and South Eleuthera, such as Wayne Monroe from Freetown, Lisa Rami from Marathon. But there are also a few new names. We have attorney Owen Wells in the newly formed St. James constituency. We have Ronell Ambrista and Michael, and we also have Bradley Fox in Central and South Abaco. And we'll be sure to bring all of the excitement to you this evening. As you can see, the crowd is really tight right now. Our social media team is here. They are active. We invite you at home to stay tuned to our pages where we'll have all of the highlights. We'll show you who will be ratified for what constituency and their plans for the upcoming general election. Atalia?
All right, Josh, we apologize for the technical difficulties, but we heard you loud and clear. Our Joshua Williams reporting live outside the PLP headquarters tonight. We'll have a full report from that event during tomorrow's night newscast. Well, a former policeman convicted of plotting the murder of his love rival. Well, we'll have to wait a little longer to learn his fate. Former Corporal Darren Davis appeared before Justice Renee McKay for a sentencing hearing today, but the decision has been put off until February. Last year, a jury found Davis guilty of planning the December 3rd, 2022 fatal shooting of Jason Whitfield. The 43-year-old was shot multiple times while in his government-issued car in Garden Hills. Prosecutors alleged that 6 of the 9 jurors accepted that Davis was motivated by jealousy after his girlfriend left him for Whitfield. Well, police are searching for the victim of a police-involved shooting after they say he ran from the scene of an early morning altercation. It happened around 12:30 this morning near the Faith Avenue and St. Vincent Road Junction. Investigators say that's where a group of men were gathered at a business when a light gray Honda occupied by 2 men pulled up. One of the passengers got out of the car and began arguing with a bystander in the group. That argument escalated, and police say the man who jumped out of the car pulled out a gun and began shooting. The gunfire caught the attention of an off-duty officer who saw what was happening, pulled his service weapon, and began shooting at the suspect. That suspect was later reportedly seen on Amberger Street, suffering from injuries to his head and mouth. Witnesses told police he was asking for help, saying he's been shot. Police say he was picked up by an unknown vehicle where he disappeared into the night. Investigators checked local hospitals for the wounded suspect, but were told no one suffering facial gunshot wounds had turned up for treatment. Switching gears now, the National Insurance Board is clarifying recent media reports concerning employees of the Grand Lucayan Resort. In a statement this morning, NIB said, following a thorough review of its internal systems, the NIB confirms there are no records of unemployment benefit claims being submitted, processed, or denied for employees of the company. The statement continues, the board has not received any formal notice of closure, redundancy, or layoffs involving Lucayan Renewal Holdings, and reports suggesting that employees were denied unemployment benefits are factually incorrect. The NIB emphasizes that all benefits are assessed based on official employer notifications and properly submitted claims in accordance with the National Insurance Act. Now, the statement comes after employees of the hotel claimed they had not been paid for nearly 1 month, were sent home, and were unable to receive unemployment or maternity benefits. Employees say that when they visited NIB, they were told no payments had been made from the hotel since June 2025. Now, the board reiterates its commitment to transparency, accuracy, and the fair administration of benefits. And in that statement, they encourage the media and the public to verify information directly with the National Insurance Board. Well, construction of the multi-million-dollar clinic in Palmetto Point, Eleuthera, is progressing steadily. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Michael Darville and Central and South Eleuthera Member of Parliament Clay Sweeting toured the state-of-the-art facility today, along with several other government officials. Ground was broken on the 14,000-square-foot facility last October in an effort to provide accessible health care for residents of Eleuthera. It spans 4 acres and will be a single-story building featuring a morgue, a telepad, a dedicated medical waste area, and emergency services.
It is something that the residents of Eleuthera needs, that will carry Eleuthera into the next 20 years, and to be able to accommodate direct foreign investment on the island of Eleuthera, and have the advanced facility here to be able to accommodate any sort of tragedy that might take place on the island of Eleuthera.
Now turning to Grand Bahama, AML Foods Limited has broken ground on a $10.3 million distribution center in Freeport, a project company leaders say reinforces their long-term commitment to the island. Government and business leaders attending the groundbreaking welcome the development. The facility will be built along Queens Highway on the site of a former Solomon's food store. The original building was severely damaged during Hurricane Dorian and will now be demolished to make way for the new facility. It will It'll serve as a centralized logistic hub supporting AML's operations in New Providence, Grand Bahama, Exuma, and Eleuthero. Construction of the new distribution center is expected to be completed by the third quarter of this year, with operations beginning shortly after. AML Food CEO Gavin Wishorn says the investment strengthens both the company and the island's economy.
We want to improve our product consistency, product availability. As you look at supply chains, especially what came out of COVID many years ago when it was difficult to get certain products, and we want to make this investment to allow us to control more of our supply chain, allow us to diversify our supply chain and bring more security to it, first and foremost. What we see, especially as we've been into the Family Islands, is that not everybody has the same advantages as AML, and they can't buy as good as us, or they don't have the same access to supplies. So what we want to do in the future, once this is established, is we want to see if independent stores want to become partners with us, not necessarily franchise, but that we can maybe buy on their behalf, allow them to get our pricing, allow them to get our distribution, and hopefully bring the benefits of product consistency and lower prices and greater variety to smaller family islands or communities that AML does not serve right now.
All right, temperatures are warming up in the capital on this Thursday. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look. Greg, what can you tell us?
Yeah, thanks, Italia, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. A warm evening outside our studios right now. Some high-level clouds out there. 75 degrees, few clouds. The winds out of the east-southeast at 50 miles per hour, so we still have a bit of a breeze. Feels like temperature is at 73. Satellite radar composite. Quiet conditions across most of the Bahama Islands. We do have that moisture associated with that remnant frontal boundary across the northwest Bahamas, generating some showers, even some isolated thunderstorms. Andros got in on some of that. Bimini saw a couple of thunderstorms to the west of them, but that moisture will pull towards the east and away from us. That's going to be paving the way for some high-pressure system to be building across us for the rest of the week and into the weekend. And then we expect another front by early next week. Another cool down is expected. That's a quick check on conditions around the island. Stick with us. We'll take a look at your complete forecast when we come back.
Still to come in our news tonight on Grander View, the Grand Bahama Humane Society's president discusses its impact and the growing challenges it now faces. Plus, tonight on the Record, Hands for Hunger Executive Director Keisha Ellis joins our Megan Shepherd to discuss feeding families, educating communities, and addressing the root causes of food insecurity. That's all coming up when our news returns.
Are escalating. Vaping liquid marijuana is on the rise, damaging lungs and increasing stroke risk. And a deadly new trend, lean, cough syrup, soda, and candy, a lethal combination that can cause seizures and even death. Possession means arrest and prosecution. I am Corporal 2641 Rory Fox of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Protect your loved ones. Learn more by visiting our website.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions. Well, the Grand Bahama Humane Society has been a part of the local community for nearly 60 years,
offering invaluable services for our furry friends and residents across the island. Tonight, the Grand Review explores their impact and their struggles. The president telling our Megan Shepherd that they are in need of great assistance.
Appeal. We are struggling. We're doing the best that we can.
That's president of the Grand Bahama Humane Society, Tiffany Dennison. For decades, the nonprofit has been helping to keep the stray animal population under control, whether that's with medical assistance, spay and neuter initiatives, or housing.
That's for stray animals that, could spread disease. And of course, if they go unchecked for spaying and neutering, then we have puppies and dogs and cats everywhere. And that's unfortunately not good for our island, for our people, for environment. It's not good for the dogs. We have a great clinic. We do spay and neuters here. We work with people that cannot afford it. So by all means, call us. We're happy to help. We also pick up stray dogs. We rehabilitate dogs.
And at the moment, Dennison says they are at full capacity.
About 110 dogs, 60 cats, and a rabbit. Two rabbits, and a pig. They're all up for adoption, just like Coco here, who is a feisty little thing.
The Humane Society is run by a board of volunteers. And if you'd like to offer your assistance, they're open to having more hands on deck. But what does it cost to run such an operation?
About $900,000 a year. That's with medicines, with the clinic, with all the animals, with the staff, that's everything, basically.
And although the need remains great, Dennison says they are grateful to those who continue to support them in any way they can.
We're a nonprofit organization, Bahamian nonprofit organization, that is supported by the community, by the government, by the Port Authority, in-kind individuals, people that help, volunteers. But no, we are on our own as far as that goes. And of course, since Dorian, the funding from a lot of people has changed, has gone down, but the stray population has gone up quite a bit.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepherd.
All right, thanks so much for that, Megan. Well, what does the term food security mean to you? Well, for the staff and volunteers at Hands for Hunger, that statement is their main mission. Tonight, Executive Director Keisha Ellis sits down with Our News anchor Megan Shepherd On the Record, discussing opportunities to build on the foundation they've built, the programs that feed and educate thousands of families, and the trust they've built within the community. Ellis says the ultimate goal is to address the root causes of food insecurity.
What can we do to encourage people in positions of power and privilege to really start looking at this, seeing this as a holistic issue that, impacts all of us, and really looking at ways that we can make systemic changes, so that we're not having these conversations about food insecurity. We have a nice sized population. You know what I mean? We don't have tens of millions of people like some other countries. I sincerely think that, with a little bit of thought, a little bit of effort, some deliberate motivation, we really could revolutionize the way food is distributed, the nutrition in this country. And I sincerely think that we can be a model for Caribbean countries and other countries around the world.
Now, for more on the impactful work Hands for Hunger does for the nation, be sure to stay tuned right after this newscast as On the Record begins at 8.
Coming up in sports, MLB Pipeline ranks the top shortstop prospects in the minors. Crazy that they found 5 ahead of Sebas Walcott. Mangos volleyball takes on the defending champs, and Dayton Albury scores 1,000 points, but not in this game, or that would be a record.
Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in the Bahamas, and that's On the Record, one of the longest running current affairs shows on RTV. We've been the place where newsmakers come to talk. We've sat down with leaders in government, cultural icons, industry leaders, and international experts. From breaking news to in-depth analysis, Our conversation sets the tone for the nation. We've tackled the biggest issues on the planet, held world leaders accountable, and given voice to the people. From politics to culture, business to the environment, no topic is off limits. Join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. and again on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Catch us streaming live on Facebook or catch up with your favorite episodes on our YouTube channel. 9 seasons strong, and we're just getting started. This is On the Record.
Too many suffer in silence, but silence only protects the abuser. Your feelings are real. Your safety matters. It's time to break the silence. If someone is hurting you, speak up. We will listen. We will help. I am Police Constable 4286 Sinead Douglas of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. Let us build safer communities together.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Marknut. Let's do show. So MLB Pipeline has expected time of arrivals for the top prospects to get to the majors. It's sped up for Sebastian Walcott. Now it says 2026. That's this year, so feel free to get excited. Walcott continues to make his mark on baseball's prospect landscape. In the latest edition of positional rankings this week, the Texas Rangers' top prospect checks in at number 6 among the top shortstops in all of minor league baseball. Walcott didn't just crack the top 10, he stood out in a big way, tied for the best power grade and arm strength grade among all players on the list. On the field last season, he put together an impressive all-around campaign in AA with the Frisco Rough Riders. The 19-year-old hit .255 with 13 home runs, 59 RBI, and 32 stolen bases. He also earned a second invite to the MLB Futures All-Star Game. A year earlier, as one of the youngest everyday players in the South Atlantic League, Walcott finished with a .261 average, ranking among the league leaders in triples, extra base hits, and total bases before earning that late-season promotion to AA. The Rangers will open spring training February 20th in Surprise, Arizona.
The University of the Bahamas Mingos women's volleyball team returned to action with a full squad, but came up short against defending champions. In New Providence Volleyball Association play, the Mingos fell to the Panthers in straight sets 25-10, 25-18, and 25-19. UB got off to a slow start in the opening set, falling into an early 12-4 hole and never recovered. The second set was more competitive. UB tied the score at 5 points apiece and later trailed 16-5. However, the Panthers pulled away down the stretch, closing the set on a strong run to take a 2-0 lead in the match. The Mingos again faced an early deficit in the third set, trailing 8-1. And again rallied, but again just fell short. Middle blocker guard Nick Hollingsworth led the Mingos in scoring, while Patrice Ferguson and Samaya Tucker contributed with 4 points each. The Panthers were led by Sari Aubrey, who finished with a match-high 9 points.
Dayton Aubrey's always been a bucket, pretty much for as long as any of us can remember. 1,000 points in counting for his D1 career, and now we're on the road to March. Aubrey reached a major personal milestone when he was honored by his New Mexico Lobos for scoring his 1,000th career point over the weekend. He continued to lead the Lobos on the court last night, and New Mexico extended its home dominance with an 83-74 win over Fresno State. Aubrey scored 11 in the win, and the Lobos improved to 15-4, 6-2 in Mountain West play. New Mexico had a 14-0 run early and maintained control throughout and led 36-23 at the half. The lead got up to as much as 20 in the second half, and they held on to close out the win. On the season, Aubrey is averaging 11.5 points, 3.3 boards, and 3.6 assists per game, while shooting 49% from the field. After starring at the JUCO level with Chipola, Aubrey's Division I career has also included stops at Queen's University and Utah State. That'll do it for Our Sports. This is 10YS. All right, so we talked a lot of Sebas, but what's the over-under on how many Bahamians you think breaking through to the majors this year?
3. The dark horse, BJ.
Like what are you thinking? Back to the studio.
When our news comes back from the break, the entertainment industry is big business, but experts say some local entertainers may be missing out financially. Our Daniel Miller has a story when our news returns. Stay with us.
Do you think you know domestic violence? Think again. It is not just physical, emotional, financial, or sexual abuse, and it doesn't discriminate. If you feel intimidated, harassed, or manipulated, you're not alone. The Bahamas Crisis Center and the Domestic Violence Task Force are here. I am Sergeant 3992 Tamika Neely. Let's break the silence on domestic violence. Let's create safer communities.
In what we do at Best Brew, it really doesn't end when the customer purchases our product. We offer specialty coffee, tea, spices, and brewing equipment. We do a lot of our orders via website. We actually have the mobile service and the phone service and the internet. So having Business in a Box really kind of brought everything together for us and helps us to be able to provide the customer services that we pride ourselves on.
Don't spend hours sending individual messages to your customers. Use SMS messaging instead. With Cable Bahamas Business Solutions SMS messaging, you can send personalized messages to hundreds or even thousands of recipients instantly. It's quick, effortless, and cost-effective. Plus, it ensures that your messages are delivered directly to your customers' cellular phones, guaranteeing higher engagement. Save time and boost your outreach with SMS bulk messaging. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions at 601-8911 in Nassau or 602-8811 in the Family Islands.
Every year, car theft in the Bahamas rises. Thieves are getting smarter and faster. Is your car a target? Compact vehicles are at risk. Don't become a victim. Simple steps can make all the difference. Lock your car. Invest in anti-theft devices. Park smart. Protect yourself. Stay alert. I am PC 4392 Trayshawn Ferguson. Stay vigilant. Report suspicious activity. And let's create safer communities together. Learn more by visiting.
This is our news. Welcome back. High pressure in charge of our weather right now. That remnant frontal boundary, or what's left of it, the moisture associated with it, pulled across the northwest Bahamas, generating some cloudy conditions as well as some showers and some isolated thunderstorms across that area. Even Andros got a couple of thunderstorms earlier this afternoon, but most of that moisture will be pulling towards the east and away from us. We expect our high pressure system to dominate our weather for the remainder of the week and into the weekend, looking for some warmer temperatures and much stable conditions. But we do expect another front to be getting in here by Sunday, Monday time frame. That frontal boundary will actually take shape across central portions of the United States. But we do have another system well out there just to the north of us. That's going to catch up with the frontal boundary to the north of us, and that's going to pull everything out towards the east and away from us. Future forecast showing the moisture across the northwest Bahamas waning as we speak, most of it moving into the open Atlantic. Just some residual moisture hanging around through Friday across the northwest Bahamas, and then clears up on Saturday, looking pretty nice. So if you have plans for the weekend, get out and enjoy. Boating forecast, northwest and central Bahamas tonight through tomorrow. Caution flag in place for the Atlantic waters. Moderate risk for rip currents out there as well. Winds have come down east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet, but building up to 6 feet in the Atlantic waters. In some easterly swells. High tide is at 10:22 tonight. Your low tide takes place at 4:31 in the morning. Southeast Bahamas, caution flag in place for you guys down there as well. Winds a little stiffer easterly at 15 knots. Seas running 3 to 5 feet near shore, but building up to 7 feet in Atlantic waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, just beautiful conditions expected for the remainder of the week. Temperatures will get back into the 80s. Those nighttime temperatures will be in the 70s. But we do expect a front on Sunday into Monday. That's going to lend some showers on Monday time frame. But we do expect a cool down once again by the middle of next week. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much for that, Greg. Well, the entertainment industry is big business. However, local entertainers could possibly be leaving thousands on the table by failing to consider one strategic business element. Our Danielle Miller speaks to a veteran in the industry who tells us more.
So many take the entertainment industry as just a hobby, but in reality, it is a business. And in this business, according to both Dean and Victoria, there is one common mistake a lot of creatives make.
I just want you to know you need to protect your IP.
It's a billion-dollar business. The entertainment industry has stimulated economies globally for centuries, and more recently has helped to launch a new generation of multimillionaires. But here at home, hundreds of local artists struggle to attain financial success. In a recent conversation with longtime entertainer, Bodine Victoria Johnson. She shared why she believes many creatives fall short in managing their intellectual property, from copywriting lyrics, patents, to trademarking your name, associated symbols, and even your physical image. They're all considered a part of your IP.
If you are constantly seen with a particular hairstyle, you are constantly seen in specific colors, like a Pepsi can, like a Coca-Cola can, there is a font type that's associated with you, or there is a phrase that you use often enough.
And with the emergence of AI, she said, it is crucial now more than ever.
Nobody can take Taylor Swift's image and likeness and create that in an AI form and get money off of that or monetize it, because her lawyers will come for you.
Bodine advises all creatives to seek counsel from a local or international lawyer.
Reggie has a dance that can be trademarked. He can't trademark the song, but he has a dance that can be trademarked. And people, the Caribbean over, the world over, have been able to capitalize off of that dance. And he was a high schooler.
Reporting for our news, I'm Danielle Miller.
All right, thanks so much for that, Denny. And before we go, we want to just say a special happy birthday to Jackie Roll. That's the mother of our very own Leslie Roll, one of the great employees in the background making this newscast happen tonight. We hope you enjoy your special day. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our news tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.
And thank you for watching. I'm Natalia Hall. Be sure and hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications to see more content from the team you already